So you guys were one. I'm hearing a lot of you guys. You guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that. And when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So it's shorter. There you go. Crazycatlady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and entertainment purpose.
Hi everybody, Martha here. So I'm finished reading the second volume of Kingdom Hearts, the novel, 2. For the English version, there's only 2 volumes. So if I read the manga version of it, I'll make sure to put on the title that that's the manga. This is the novel, because that's a different author. But here, mostly I'm going to read parts that are not mentioned in the game. They're in here. And that's what I'm going to do during this video. Read them to you guys, and so you can know the difference between the game and the novel, mostly during this. Just like in the first part, they mostly focus on what Riku, Axel, and Nominee are doing during, and also Ansem the Wise. So it's mostly those ones are different, and sometimes they don't like cover all the parts during the Disney Worlds. Like with Beauty and the Beast, they only cover the first um, visit, and with Mulan, they only cover the second visit. And they don't even cover a Lion King period. With Pirates of the Caribbean, they only cover like the second visit. A lot of times when it comes to the visits, they only cover the ones that are like important to the story. Since during the game you go to each world twice, except for Disney Castle. You only go there once, so it only covers the first visit. But some of them get left out entirely out of both these books. I've noticed since me reading them. Like I don't remember hear anything about Nightmare for Christmas in here, since really none of the organization characters go there. And so like each time like you go to a black page for this, you see which ones are covered here from we still got Tron's world covered. Both those visits get I think I already mentioned all the ones that are on here. Oh yeah, in the underworld, I don't know why it's called that, because it doesn't even mention Hercules or stuff like that. So I'm just gonna start reading things randomly that I know it's not in the game to you guys right now. So enjoy my voice acting. Okay. And yeah, spoilers alert for people who have not read the book. So, since people, even though I put it in the title sometimes, but since this is like an old game, I probably wouldn't bother. But yeah, this is my spoiler warning. Okay. Riku glanced at a woman in the black cloak. This was Hollow Bastion, an empty castle. This was the place they once called Radiant Garden, before it fell under Maleficent's rule. Sora and his friends were driven her off and finally began to restore the town to former glory. And once again, Maleficent and Heartless were now the nobodies were trying to put stop to that. So, so you're alive, Riku, said Maleficent coldly. And you're back to the dead, back from the dead like I thought, Riku said, quietly from under his hood. Of course, like the darkness itself, I will not be vanished. Like, isn't you the same? You change from your form, but you can't change your heart, she said with a smile. A sense of patience of a human being couldn't be hidden so easily. It's trying to might disgust himself. With her magic, Maleficent is easily tells who hard it is. What do you know about Organization 13? Riku asked. I heard of it. Those fools in the black cloaks like yours. He nodded. The nobodies. Nobodies. Maleficent repeated. He stood close enough to the. She could feel wind and from his words. I'm sure you've seen them. Those weird white creatures. Just as Riku spoke, the castle shook, the timber rumbling. They're here. He frowned and turned his back on Maleficent and began to run. Wait, boy. You better fight too, if you don't want to lose this castle, he told her, ignoring her command, and pursued himself into the ink. Darkness, as it could have. What could have been after him? What could he be after? Lisbeth muttered. Then she heard Pete from behind.
This is bad, Maleficent.
She turned slightly and asked, what now?
Those things. The white things.
Pete gasped, pointing behind him. Well, speak of the devil. Maleficent laughed softly, quite ventured towards them. Okay, so I'm gonna. Let me see. Okay. It's gonna skip that part about an stream light as the computer organization abused. The only thing that giving Axel deja vu. He started the screen. What are you doing? A voice behind him. Axel swam around back from the black coat, staring there, and seeming ready to fight. A newcomer pushing the hood up and shifted into shoulders. Ansem! Oh, Riku, it's you. Axel breathed, as the sign of relief, recognizing the voice. Don't scare me like that. I got people after me, you know. Well, if so, you're so little more cautious. Riku opened his hood and went up to join Axel in front of the computer. You're weak anyway, he said. A small laugh escaped him. Well, yeah, like my guard is down for. So this is Ansom's computer, Riku interrupted. Axel protected. Who's that guy in this picture? Who's this guy in this picture? It's me, Axel shrugged. I thought someone in the organization would know more, would be more help. I'm not that in that organization. Axel ignored and began trying to keyboard and sections on more data. It seems like Sora and the others had left information unlocked. Ansem. That real Ansem, Riku muttered, reading the text above the picture. Beside him, Axel stayed quiet, a little more back up into the Riku, seen by both of understanding, and the man Ansem only stole the name only Axel and remembered the screen to the tween. So most of the time during this book, they're at Ansem's computer. That's one mostly I noticed. Like every time when I was reading this book, most of the time they're like at the computer because since Sora does that dun 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 and gets mad at the computer when he is a stupid computer. So that's mostly what's going on here. And since these guys stumble upon it after they left, yeah, that's the part. That's what's going on right here. Mostly, they found the page where Sora leaves it, and mostly just reading it right now because I'm already tired from reading it and changing my voice. So if I see like anything interesting, I'll read it. I'll do like a summary of it. But mostly right here, they're like looking at the picture of Ansem, where Sora does the bump bump bump. You played the game, and right here, we got Nominee. She's with Diz. Looks like, and looks like they're talking about Roxas, of course, and watching basically the battle unfold during this time period, because this is during the battle when you're when we're about to battle Demix for the first when you kill Demix basically, and they're basically watching it unfold, and that's what's going on right here. I'll read a little bit of it. All right. Let me see if we can find a good spot. Okay. So, there is someone there. After come to Twilight Town, Nominee would never set out foot outside the White Room. She got to the lab and basement, and she was just played. Draw pictures. Today was different. She seen someone in the basement lab, and she didn't recognize them at all. Certainly, heart pounding. Nominee left the White Room, and she... Okay. But I'm probably going to stop after this part for a little bit. But, like I said, most of what they cover in this part is that kind of stuff that's not in the game. But, I'll read the last bit of the page for you guys since it's already going on for 13 minutes. Do you want you guys can go read it yourself. But it's a great book. It has a lot of pictures in here that are not in the game. So, it's on Amazon. You want to go find it. Or buy the Honda Collects if you have the money to spare. Or like you're like me, buying the ones you see randomly online, then read them and count that. Because I'd rather have all of them together randomly. So, so what was close in the cave in the separate other dough still covered the walls and the dusty islands dental pounding into the ceiling. It was quite skimming over the sound, and there was no drawings of Sora and Kyrie in the faces in the back of the walls. It seems like only days were echoing to his hand, and the holding of the powerful fruit of Kyrie's lips. And yet, it felt like 100 years has seen the black coat, and the powerful fruit, and the two men from shared the distance, and similarly into noticing that else added to pressing to the fingers, now shown to holding the hands of the popper fruit of the Sora. But back then, there was ways to holding into running outside. The dawn lights into twinkling of the popper fruit tree. Sky is a light, so the seas, and now full of the rushing waves and the cry of the birds. The sun sinking, the sea closing. It's real. This dusty islands are home. Nothing changes. Riku. So it's a tiny world, part of it, the bigger watching. In this tiny island, I want so badly to go home to this place. Yeah, Riku sighed the light lower and lower. Then Sora suddenly turned to him. Hey Riku, what do you think it was? The light of the door. Riku down into with a heart smiled and looked back at Sora. This, pointing at Sora's heart. This? Sora expressed, holding his chest. Yeah, it will always get closer than you think. Just a grin spread across Sora's face, and they heard crying. Sora! Riku! She spread down to the beast and glanced bottle hand. What's up? Sora said. Look! She comes to the bottle and making sure that nothing is uphold to them. And a spread of paper rolled over. In the middle of it, the king's signature. It's from the king. He heard popped over and shook over to seeing it's red. Riku smiled and turned, expression excellently, sighed into over the face. The end. Okay, so I got one more page I'm probably going to read to you guys before I end it here. Forgot about this part. So, in the game, there is never a moment where we see Xemnas and Riku meet, except for at the very end. So this is like a moment I know it's not in the game. So I'm going to read this. Pardon me, go back to the part, and then I'll probably end it here. So basically what's going on right here. They're trying to go and save Kairi. Axel, after Axel accidentally kidnaps her, trying to get Roxas back, and they're trying to get around Xemnas. So this is basically a teamwork effort between Axel, Naminé, and Riku. So like you know in the game, Naminé shows up randomly into the cage, saves Kairi, and again gives her off to Riku. And then Axel is helping out Sora and then gets himself killed. So basically what's going on right here, they're keeping Xemnas distracted right here by making him think that they're saying that Axel's going to betray them, being like a double agent he is, and keep Xemnas occupied during this part. So this is what's going on right here. That is definitely off screen. So basically, Axel shows up randomly. Sayax is not trusting him at the moment. So, but this is probably gonna read to you guys. There's a page right here where both of them are looking at each other, Xemnas and Riku / Ansem. So yeah. Okay, so Naminé sat quietly, and as tears ran down her face, she went down to the walls and the white in the haunted mansion. She appeared to pass the time drawing as if she was alone waiting from Riku and Axel. Riku pursues a collection, and the quietly few of them once spaced out into the happy smile with Axel and Naminé expression, then became more aware of someone outside. Nominee ran to the basement, hidden and poured walls. Okay, Riku said, resting a hand, and turned his attention to the outside window. As he just did, nobody surrounded the mansion. Something has happened since Axel attacked. Although it's been a real mansion in other places, and looks like. Riku, did you see the nobodies have a home somewhere we belong? Nominee wondered. There's no time to talk right now. The organization attacks. I don't know what I could fight them off and protect you at the same time. He summoned Soul Eater in his hand. There's only time to talk, she argued. Do you think that nobody's really don't have hearts? Who told Axel that he doesn't have one? The heart across that secret. Nominate, Riku interrupted. Nobodies are crawling the corners of the spread very straight at, and she, in front of the time, knocking on the door inside with the Soul Eater. So here you are. From a strange wrap, a man in the black cloak appeared. Riku faced him, the Soul Eater ready, getting Nominate safely behind him. It's been a long time since I've seen that face. The man removed his cloak and smiled at Riku. The two men bowed into assembling each other. Riku knew this from was your Zemnis. He's separated the organization. Now Axel had told him he couldn't win a fight alone. He simply couldn't give up. He had to hold him off until Nominee escapes. I am Riku, or rather Ansem, or not Ansem either. Perhaps you should call me Xehanort. Zemnis stepped silent towards him. Well, don't you feel more at home in that form? The opposition actually, said Riku. Zemnis let out a chuckle. Perfect. Now your guard. The sword down to drawn forward his hand, entire blade. The next moment they slashed against the Soul Eaters. Then it goes somewhere else. So basically, yeah. And so, but yeah, we know what happens. Both of them get out of there. So that's basically it for right now. Hope you guys enjoyed me reading this as much as I can to you right now. So I'll see you guys later. I'm probably gonna get this one like a 9 out of 10, since there is so much they left out, but they really want you to play the game and but these books are really cool to look at. And since I've played the game so many times, I like to look at them from different perspectives. So that way. So I'm probably gonna. The next ones I'm probably gonna end up reading to you is probably one of the versions of when it comes to Kingdom Hearts is Chain of Memories or 345 days, but usually like to finish a thread of code. So it's either gonna be Chain of Memories or 3 to 55 6 days and a half divided by half. I've always have a hard time saying that title. Okay, so but I'll see you guys later. Like, favorite, and subscribe. And sorry I didn't do any Mickey or Donald voices right now, but they weren't in those sections, so you're wanting me to do that for you guys here. Sorry, but bye bye.